All right, today we're going to set up a community and take a look at the new custom themes that are part of the Summer 18 release. So I'm in a Summer 18 org here. Let's first go about getting communities enabled and set up. We'll do that really quick. It's worth noting I've already set up my domain in this org, so I have a custom domain up here. That's not strictly necessary, but there are some features that do require it. So I find it's good to go ahead and just get that set up anytime I'm working with a new org. We go to communities here. We have to start by enabling it. So I'll come to community settings and do that. And we'll just give this a similar name, themes demo, which is amazingly available, and we'll save it. All right, so we'll go to new community. Close out some of these other tabs. All right, so here's our community setup wizard where we can select what type of community we want to start. Let's go with the customer account portal. Account portal demo. Account portal demo. Great. Of course, I have to make that a single word. So we'll just make that portal demo. And then the community goes through the setup process, and then we'll have just a couple steps we want to go through once it loads. All right, so our community has been established, and we're here in the workspaces screen. We've not done anything else to it yet. First thing I'm going to do is go to administration. There's a little bit of housekeeping I like to do here before going in and doing anything within Builder. So first thing I'm going to do is go to emails, and because I'm working with this for development purposes, I'm going to turn off the welcome email because we don't need it. I'm also going to make sure that internal users can log into the community without any trouble. These are just some standard things I do when setting up communities for testing or development, all of that. I don't need to add any members. It's just a system administrator for now, which is me, and no one else currently, so that's just fine. I don't need to change any of these preferences either. I think we're all good and ready to activate. So I'll go here. It's currently in preview, but we'll activate the community, which if we hadn't disabled, the welcome email would then send an email out to all the administrators in the org, all of that, any other members. But we disabled that. And now that that's active, let's jump into Builder. All right, so as soon as Builder comes up, we can see kind of the standard content here and kind of the basic theme that comes with it. We've not really customized any of these components yet, and that's perfectly fine. First thing I'll do is go here to settings and take a look at themes, and looks like I can come in here and change themes here. Right now it's set with the default one, the customer account portal, but if I click on change, it gives me an option of some of these built-in themes that Salesforce has created. So just as an example, this is what we have currently, and while we haven't configured it fully, you can kind of see how the current theme roughly matches that look. You can see it has the kind of header bar up here. We do have some options within the theme to hide various pieces of the page should we want to. We can fix it. Maybe want to get rid of search. There we go. And that kind of slims the page down some. But let's say we wanted to go in and change the theme. So again, from here, I can actually click this Change Theme button, which will take me to that same menu. Let's just try Citizen. Citizen looks nice. You can notice this one has a few different features listed. Let's go ahead and activate the theme and see how it looks right out of the box. Something you'll see is that applied very quickly. It took almost no time at all. As I scroll down, you'll see that some of my content is still there. This rich content editor, this was there previously. That has not changed. All my links are there, and my same components are there. But the header part has gone through some changes. And if we go back to the theme section here and go to the theme settings, you'll see the settings are now different. And it's not really retained most of the ones I had from the other because this is really a new component. So the design options or the settings that it exposes here are going to be different. Let's say we wanted to change this max page width some and just see what that does if we set it to 1,000. It takes a minute to reload. But then we can see it has actually changed the max size of this main body part. So it has the ability to control some aspects of that directly from here. Let's see, I can hide the header, which will just remove that top part, which we'd already hidden from the previous one. So I guess that makes sense. Let's say we want to show the header. Let's hide the hero, which seems to be what some of these components are. Here's the header up here where the navigation menu is. Let's hide that hero component. And now it's gone, which actually makes it look fairly similar to the previous layout. So let's show the hero again. Let's fix that header's position and just kind of see what it does. That one doesn't seem to make too much of a difference. Maybe it does once you go into another page. And that currently doesn't do anything. So why don't we try to explore what this kind of theme component is. So you can set this to go to particular URLs and control various aspects of what that button does. That's pretty cool. You can even add a secondary button, which is a nice feature. Very nice. So just going in and it seems like the settings you have to control this are really kind of split between where you're going to be going into the theme settings themselves here, which this can actually also be accessed within this settings menu. If we just go to configure, then you can see some of those same options listed here. Why don't we try switching to a different theme and see what kind of options it gives us. One of the nice things about this is that it retains all your settings that you set per a theme, so you can then switch between them easily later. So we can take a look at that here in just a minute. Once again, that applied very quickly. And again, this theme kind of has its own setup and layout, but even though it changed some of the colors, some it retained all of our component layout and configuration. Let's see what options this one gives us. All right, so some similar things. This one has a very similar setup, except it's defaulting here with search instead of with the buttons that was showing before. But since this is the same hero component, I expect it to give me similar options. Actually, this one looks like it's a little bit different than the other one, though it does still give us, no, when you switch to the call to action, it gives us options here. It'd be great if we could do that as developers. All right, very cool. This one actually shows both of those buttons in action, which is great. And I still retain all the ability to control colors and all sorts of things like that as necessary. Have those affect various things on the page as expected. All right, why don't we try one other one? So here we can jump back to one of our previous themes. So why don't we jump to the one that we originally had, the customer account portal, where we had adjusted some of those settings. All right, so now that we're back here, let's go to theme settings. Excellent. We'll actually see that the settings we had put to here before are still selected. So that's really powerful just by itself. I kind of have these different states that I can jump between for my various themes. Let me just look at one more. We'll look at Jepson really quick. And you'll notice that the images here are highly configurable. So one of the great things about this feature is that if you have an already set up community, you've already laid out all of your components, you can apply these very, very quickly. And as long as you can get some of these hero images and know where you want these buttons to go, you can apply one of these and almost immediately start using it, because it's configurable enough that if you're using mostly out-of-the-box components or even custom ones that are really contained to the page, it seems like that is highly applicable to these themes. They can really be applied to any kind of community, especially one that's just using the Peely or one of the standard templates. It's a really good fit there. Something to note is that if you do have your own custom theme already applied, and by that I mean you have custom theme layouts that you have set up and have selected here, if you select a theme in Summer 18, it will replace those and it won't retain your previous custom settings as one of the My Themes here. It'll start from the first one of these new ones that you select. So if you inadvertently do that and want to get back to what your previous custom setup was, it's a simple matter of going into the config menu here and reselecting those themes, whichever ones they may be, and then selecting the applicable settings. Selecting a theme is really just doing that on the back end. It's changing those layouts, applying certain settings, and adding certain components to those sections within the theme. So you can do that manually. My understanding is that in a future release, Safe Harbor, they'll have that better integrated with custom things you can build yourself. And that's about it. So this themes feature is really powerful. It seems like a great way for communities that are already out there in the wild to very quickly kind of adapt themselves and start having different looks and feels and really take over the branding of their customer rapidly without needing a full user experience engagement or a project dedicated to customization there. So really powerful feature, and excited to see how it develops in the future.